yung punto na sinabi mo, Senator Risa. Madam Chair, yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Andito na, well, nakasalang si RD. Gusto ko na lang rin ituloy-tuloy na yung sanang RD, yung the first attempt pa lang sana ng mga tao mo na pumasok doon, tapos binawalang pumasok. Kung lumapit ka na kaagad sa PNP o kaya sa Philippine Army doon, nagpatulong ka to assert your power as a regulating agency, baka hindi na lumala ang sitwasyon, di ba? Kasi kayo man talagang first and last touch dyan, whether at i-blame natin yung LGU, i-blame natin DSWD, PNP or what, pero kayo talagang pinaka may unang stats and last touch dyan sa area. So, siguro, yun nga, nabanggit na lang yung medyo sabi pa kasi hearing na takot kang pumunta doon kasi sabi ng isang membro, may nakahanda na booby trap sa'yo doon, may bitikon ka kung pupunta ka doon, di ba? So, it's about time na you use the whole of government approach in dealing with such kind of problem. Coordinate ka sa police kagad, coordinate ka sa mga agencies na nandun para ma-stop na kagad. And going forward, habang dito ka, tanungin na lang with the permission of Senator Risa, so,
yes, Madam Chair.
Meron din akong report na natanggap dyan sa Langga. Yung mga illegal laging dyan ng yung magkuno. Isang report daw ninyo, takot daw kayo dahil mga armado daw yung mga nag-illegal laging. Daming army dyan, daming pulis. Magpatulong ka, pero may stop mo yan dahil alam mo yung magkuno. Kuhan alam mo na, DNR kay, anong klaseng species yan? Napakagandang species ng kahoy at it took centuries to have that kind of species harvested, di ba? So, dapat action mo na yan, huwag kang matakot dyan sa mga armado na yan. Daming polis noon, army, patulong ka. Yun lang, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Risa. Thank you.
Ready now to flash the pictures of the area.
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you.
So,
With these violations, no, why did it take 4 years? I mean, a long time to suspend the Pakparma of SBSI.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, if it's okay, I have the Regional Director of Region 13 who is more familiar with the territory and very familiar with the ongoings in the area. If you can
Madam
allow
Chair? Yes, Madam Chair.
to acknowledge the presence of Senator Lauren Regarda, our Senate President pro tempore. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Unless the Senate President pro tempore would like to... thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, Madam Chair, Regional Director, just dun lang po sa punto pong iyon, bakit po tumagal ng 4 na taon kahit may nadidiskubre na pong mga violations bago masuspindi po yung Pakbarma ng SBSI?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Your Honor. Yung pong simula...
Sir, pakilapit yung mic sa bibig nyo.
Yung simula po ng us finding out of these activities, ano pong mga taon na 2019. So that was during the pandemic, and then there was...
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, by the way, I'm Regional Director Noni Tamayo po ng DNR Caraga. So, sir, and ma'am, Your Honors, that was the pandemic, the earthquake, and then Odette. So, while we've been doing our monitoring regularly in the areas, I must admit that for humanitarian reason, parang nakonsider ko po yun na hindi ko recommend for cancellation, but then again, we wrote them 2 letters, twice, in 2021 and 2022, reminding them of their obligations. So, basically yun po, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Yung 3 pong dahilan na binanggit nyo, Director, pandemic, earthquake, at ano po yung pangatlo?
Odette, ma'am, Odette.
Si Typhoon Odette, opo. Well, siguro naman, kahit nung pandemic, gumagana pa rin naman yung gobyerno natin. Pati po yung mga department, pati po yung mga regional offices ng department. Yung nabanggit yung pong earthquake, actually, ayon sa aming pananaliksik, yun pa nga yung ginamit na dahilan, excuse, para hikayatin nung pinaka-leader ng SBSI, yung libo-libong mga taong umakyat doon sa kapihan. And Typhoon Odette, di umano, at ito po iniimbestigahan ngayon ng DSWD, pati daw po yung disaster ayuda sa mga tao, kinaltasan pa daw po ng mga leader ng SBSI. So, sayang po, posible mahirap nang balikan ng nakaraan, pero posible po kung umaksyon sa tamang paraan at degree ng mas timely yung regional office, baka nga po hindi grabe pala yung sitwasyon. Anyway, salamat po, Director, Madam Chair. Kung makabalik po ako kay Yusek or
Madam
Yusek. Yes, yes, Madam Chair.
With the permission of
course.
Teresa.
Okay? Senator Risa.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Ready na?
Hindi pa tatalaga tayo sa bagong building nito. Para maganda yung...
You flash na. The pictures.
While we're waiting for the photos, Madam Chair, if I can just continue my questions. Salamat, Madam Chair. So, USEC or SEC, with the suspension, ano pong mangyayari doon sa 3,500 people ng katira sa area, lalo na po yung mga kababaihan at yung mga bata? Saan po sila ilolocate or i-relocate?
The intention of our meeting tomorrow to provide an integrated approach that involves the protection of the most vulnerable. And so, in our conversation with Secretary Rex Gatchalian, he also cited, in fact, the concerns. And so we will be actually having that design of an integrated approach, Madam Chair, Your Honor. In fact, as of the suspension, there will be no movement at this time. The investigation is ongoing. And if I may just share, Madam Chair, Your Honor, the SBSI is not the only Pakbarma in the area. There are several. And we are going to be looking at these other Pakbarmas as well, because we would like to actually attribute what we are seeing via satellite imagery in terms of the increase in the number of roof structures that can be observed from the satellite imagery over time. If we will be allowed, Madam Chair, after the showing of the pictures, we would like to show a very quick just analysis of publicly available data from Google Earth. We have not done, of course, a very in-depth analysis as of this date. However, what will have to happen is what we see remotely from the satellite will have to be ground-truthed, and that will be done by those that will be located and sent there in order to determine the actual presence of the different settlement and homeowners.
So, yes, Madam Chair.
In this connection, we want to know the report. I think there is a report on, these are the pictures now of that Socorro Island.
Particularly Kapihan, Madam Chair.
So, what's wrong? Yeah, you have sublet to people so they can make money out of our protected area. Because we have a protected area in Las Piñas, we don't make money out of it. We donate to it. Yeah, how come? How many contracts, all in all, in the Philippines? Yeah. It's a protected area. How many? How many protected area?
Madam
Yes, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, if I may,
In the Philippines, how many protected area you have sublet to people?
so right now, Madam Chair, as of the data that we have available, and we will complete this as we
to make a report.
put
But
this
give us
together.
an idea of
Yes,
how
ma'am.
many protected areas.
Out of the 114, 22 PAs have 37 approved SAPA or
Isapa.
SAPA. Special Agreement on the Protected Areas po.
Okay.
So we will
So,
complete that.
37.
Yes, Madam. On the Pakbarma issue, there are a total of 119 Pakbarmas. I wish to point out, Madam Chair, just for this discussion, in the Socorro municipality, there are 9 Pakbarmas.
What is a Pakparma? Protected area.
That's the protected area.
Resource
Yes,
Management
ma'am.
Agreement.
Madam Chair.
Area. What is SAPA?
Special agreement for the protected area.
So they are both agreements.
Yes, Madam.
So it's 37 plus 119.
On the Pakbarmas, Madam, there are 119.
So almost all the protected areas, but
Madam Chair, the Pakbarmas are concentrated on specific areas. And if I may just share,
so how many protected areas are affected? They are 116, 186 agreements, di ba? In total.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Pwede, can you also cite how many hectares yung coverage ng mga
Yeah, they will make a report.
Madam Chair, we will be
have an
submitting-
idea of how many protected areas have agreement. Para,
Madam Chair, there are, up to the INIPAS law, 114
Yes.
protected areas, okay? After the INIPAS, how many more were enacted into law?
no, that's
7? Okay, let's...
no, 101 plus 7, and now we are enacting 13.
Okay, never mind that what we are enacting. So, let's peg it at a 114 up to the INIPAS law. And, let's do it this way. Before the assumption of Secretary Loizaga, what were the protected areas, marine or terrestrial, that have community-based forest management, CBFM, SAPA, what is SAPA? The Special Agreement for Protection. Okay, how many have SAPA? And what
156.
and then what are the other tenurial agreements? Or if it's not tenurial, whatever agreements there are between DNR and or LGU with a PO, cooperative, association, an LGU movement, or informal settlers that may not have a SAPA or a CBFM or any agreement, but you are aware that they exist and nahihirapan kayo. Yan, to be fair. So that is what we're asking. Before Sec Loizaga, who was only installed 1 year ago. Now, during Sec Loizaga's assumption 1 year ago, up to now, are there new SAPAs and CBFM and informal settlers, etc., in protected areas para makita natin? And under whose term are these SAPAs and CBFM? From, what was first, 1986, etc., so that we see and what kind of agreements did they enter into, right? Perhaps if you have the information, that would be very helpful to the query. Because earlier, when I heard, I was writing and we were briefly speaking, when I heard the term, I know you have the time, no? Minority Leader, Deputy Minor. I heard that Socorro LGU, I was just a bit jarred because everywhere during session, we've been talking about the so-called alleged cult in Socorro. So I was wondering, I said Socorro again, but I did not realize until the chair mentioned that they were
In a
the cult
protected
in a PA, right? So how can a supposed alleged cult, I don't want to pass judgment because I don't have first-hand information, secure a CBFM? And under what movement, under what cooperative, what are the documents? I think that is a answer that begs a question, and then the secretary can mention all various arrangements with tenurial agreements, whatever, in PAs. That's a fair question, right? Okay, thank you.
Sabi nila 156 agreement. 156
156 SAPA.
no, 37 SAPA and 119 Pak Varma. So far. So that's 156.
yes, Madam Chair, if we may be allowed, we will break it down per region and
Yeah.
per PA.
No, per PA, per region.
Yes, ma'am.
So you will make a report.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
give it this afternoon ba?
Madam Chair, we will try our best, but certainly we will be able to deliver even by
So we
this
can
afternoon.
give the list to every senator. So we will have an idea of ano. Kasi dalawa na yan Masungi and this one. Parehong controversial, di ba? So baka hindi lang nadidinig yan, pero marami na rin controversial in their particular area. Sabi niya, hindi lang ito ang last call dyan sa mga protected area, itong Socorro
Siguro, nasagot na ba ni Secretary sa anong agreement nakakuha yung alleged supposed cult ng CBFM or agreement sa DNR? Yun. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So they have or they hold a Pakbarma. Pakbarma. So protected area community-based resource management agreement.
Protected area.
Opo. And that was given, if I may be allowed.
Klaro mo lang,
Madam
speak closer. Community, CBFM, no? Barma, what is Barma?
Community-based.
Chair, management. Resource management. Protected area.
Barma. Iba pa yung Barma sa CBFM.
Yes. Opo. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what the alleged cult.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes, Madam Chair, Your Honor. If I may be allowed, was granted On June 15, 2004. Is a 25-year agreement. On the same date, June 15, 2004, in the same vicinity, there were two other pakbarmas that were granted. And subsequent, prior to 2004, there was one granted to Osmeña Planters Association, which is in the PAC. However, Madam, those that were granted in the Socorro area, another bunch of pakbarmas granted in 2017. There were 4 more pakbarmas granted in Socorro. So, 2017.
A presidential decree